off the G5 jet. I'm on my way to a brand new kit.
Welcome back, eSIM Studios podcast, live stream episode number 214 on this Thursday afternoon, October 10th, 2024. I want to thank everybody for joining me today. I've got a couple of interesting stories here today, but first, before we get to those, I do want to remind everybody that if you do miss a story and or simply want to catch the replay, you can certainly do that on our home flagship platform, the eSIM Studios YouTube channel. And don't forget, we're also have all of these uploaded to the audio form, so you can get this in audio form on any podcast platform known to man. That's correct. We're on all podcast platforms. Apple Podcasts, Samsung Podcasts. We are on Spotify, iHeartRadio music apps, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, all that. Simply search eSIM Studios wherever you get and or listen to your podcasts. Now, let's see. So yesterday we talked about the Chinese hackers, right? That basically not only took Verizon and AT&T and PlayStation networks offline. It looks like the Verizon network, at least for some people, was down again today. So I'm not sure if they shut it down real quick to upgrade it. I don't know how that works, upgrading systems, these carrier services, but I don't know if the Chinese hackers are behind this as well. The Verizon network outage today, so please be aware if you do have Verizon and you can't send a text or can't receive a call. You might be able to blame it on China. Who knows? What was the name of that hacking group? It was Salt Typhoon. You might be able to blame it on Salt Typhoon. Brian, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today, sir. I brought that up because we have another vulnerability that was exposed today that we will get into. It involves over 64 chipsets, over 64 CPUs. So you're going to want to pay attention because it could include your device. You're going to want to know if your device is vulnerable to a zero-day attack. What is a zero? Is it 0 day or 0 click? Same thing. We'll discuss that here shortly. And what else we got? Oh yes, how could I forget? OnePlus 13 and Samsung news. So let's jump right in. Yesterday we discussed OnePlus might be pulling a fast one on us with Qualcomm hand in hand with OnePlus pulling a fast one on us. So we originally thought, we've been getting leaks over the past couple of weeks that OnePlus, we know, is getting ready to launch their device. So we've been getting leaks as far as their display. Should be very cool. It's going to be a flat display. However, it's going to be a quad curved flat display, if that makes any sense. So it'll basically be a flat display. I think you should be able to put glass screen protectors on there. Not entirely sure how this is going to work, but I think I understand what they're trying to do. So it'll be a quad curved flat display. So it'll essentially be flat. However, quad curved. You know the OnePlus 12, how it had a curved display? It's curved on the sides, flat on the top. Well, this one's going to be flat all the way around. However, it's going to have nano curvature. So literally right where the screen meets the side of the phone, instead of being a complete flat, instead of being a sharp right angle, 90-degree angle, it's going to be slightly curved, ever so slightly, just where the screen meets the side. So it will basically remove the bezel. So if you're looking at the phone straight ahead, you won't be able to see the bezels all the way around, although you should be able to put a glass screen protector on it. Anyways, we got word yesterday that they hit us with a tease, so we're not really going to know until this gets launched. we had just assumed it was going to have the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 4. That's getting bumped up earlier for earlier release here next week. The Qualcomm Snapdragon chipset. And OnePlus is going to announce their OnePlus 13 days after the Qualcomm company announces their new Snapdragon 8 Gen 4. But just to review yesterday's news, a Weibo, which is the Chinese most popular social media app. All the cell phone companies have Weibo pages, right? Well, they hit us with a tease because not only are they going to release this new Snapdragon 8 Gen 4, they're also releasing a Snapdragon 8 Elite. Hence the Snapdragon Elite CPU that's in these new laptops. Very powerful, very power efficient. Very powerful, yet doesn't really use a lot of battery. Well, they're taking the foundation of those. They have what's called Orion cores. And not to get too nerdy, but they're going to take that same technology and put those Orion cores that they developed for this CPU chipset for laptops. They're going to put them in a mobile CPU. So not only are they announcing the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4, they're also announcing and releasing the new Snapdragon 8 Elite with these Orion cores in there. Man, should be even more powerful than the 8 Gen 4 and even more power efficient than the 8 Gen 4. So we're looking at an explosion of mobile chipsets here from Qualcomm. Should change the game because, you know, the new MediaTek Dimensity 9400, which we may or may not get into today, and if we don't, we'll talk about it tomorrow. And probably get into it tomorrow because I'm going to do some more homework tonight. But the new MediaTek CPU is a beast, outscoring the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 and outscoring the Apple Bionic A18 Pro CPU that can be found in the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max. It outscores it on benchmark tests. So, but we don't have any word. We don't have any testing on this new Snapdragon 8 Elite. So I don't know where it's going to end up on these benchmark tests. But what we do know is it should be even more powerful than the 8 Gen 4. Now, I went through that long explanation to say I don't know what they're going to put in this new OnePlus 13. Could it be the 8 Gen 4? Probably. Could it be the new Snapdragon 8 Elite? Possibly, maybe. I don't know. There's a small chance. But nonetheless, OnePlus, after all of these leaks and sort of leading up to the launch, you don't hear anything from the company unless it's Google, which leaks their own pixels like 6 months before. Nothing from OnePlus. It was just the leaksters. And today, OnePlus officially, not necessarily releasing it because you can't go out and buy it or pre-order it, but OnePlus did confirm the OnePlus 13 will be for sale. It will be announced. It will be launched in just a couple of weeks. So let's get into that, shall we? Because I am very intrigued about this device. Let me change the view here. There we go. A little bit bigger. Pause. Okay. So where are we at? OnePlus 13. OnePlus 13. Oh yeah, how could I forget? Favorites. Okay. So, a OnePlus executive has confirmed the OnePlus 13 is on the way with the latest Snapdragon Silicon. Now, timeout. Let me go back to my intro. That's why I don't know what they're going to put in here. They're going to put in here the 8 Gen 4 or the 8 Elite. We have no idea, but whatever it's going to be is going to be a beast. Now, we think it might be the Elite because when Snapdragon teased the 8 Elite with the Orion cores, they used a OnePlus 13 in their promo video. How could I forget to tell you that? That's why everybody's like, whoa, wow. So what are they going to surprise us, or are they going to do? Are they going to do like, is OnePlus going to release this OnePlus 13 with the 8 Gen 4, and then are they going to do a S model, or I guess in OnePlus cases it would be the T model? Are they going to do a T model like 4 months later? We have no idea, but a OnePlus executive has confirmed that they are releasing the OnePlus 13 this month, and we're already almost 2 weeks into the month. So you're talking about another 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll know for sure. Let's see if we can nail down a release date. The executive also said that you should expect a big leap in performance, claiming the phone would reach new heights for Android. That's what's got me intrigued. OnePlus added that the phone would launch later this month. They hinted that the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 will power it. Now, a company executive has confirmed that the OnePlus 13 is indeed coming soon and revealed a few more details. OnePlus China President Li Ji Louis, that's an interesting name, Li Ji Louis, because it's got a Chinese name and then a traditional French English name, revealed on Weibo, there we go, Weibo, that the that the OnePlus 13 is on the way and should offer the latest Snapdragon flagship chip, expected to be the 8 Gen 4. This is not a surprise. We've essentially thought this all along. Let's see. Well, let's read his statement. It says, the new self-developed Tidal engine and Aurora engine will bring you a revolutionary smooth experience. What the hell is this? That sounds cool. The Tidal engine can schedule performance very efficiently, and the Aurora engine can completely reconstruct the underlying system. And the system animation is smooth and agile with the latest Snapdragon flagship. The OnePlus 13 has made a big leap in both performance, release, and overall fluency, reaching a new height never seen before in Android. OnePlus 13 is the first to be equipped with Color OS 15 with unprecedented super performance scheduling, and super smooth animation experience just this month. So he did mention it would be equipped with Color OS 15 in China. Now, if you didn't know, the OnePlus phones, which is owned by parent company Oppo, Color OS is a skin. So you know how of Android. So you know how One UI is the skin that runs on top of Android operating system in Samsung phones, right? Or Nothing OS that runs on top of Android and Nothing phones. Color OS is their version of Android, basically. And that is only released in China. So they release a OnePlus 13 with Color OS in China, and then they release a OnePlus 13 with Oxygen OS here in the, well, I say United States, but in the rest of the world. So only Color OS in China and Oxygen OS in the remaining parts of the world. Now, if you've ever ordered a phone on AliExpress, AliExpress is a Chinese company based in China. If you order a OnePlus 12 or upcoming OnePlus 13 on AliExpress, you would know it comes with Color OS. So just be aware of what you're ordering. Now, you can order, obviously, from OnePlus USA, and then that will come with Oxygen OS. Don't really worry about ordering the wrong one, unless you order from a Chinese company like AliExpress. I wouldn't worry about that too much. If you get one, I'm sure 99% will be Oxygen OS. But if you do buy them on AliExpress, just be aware. Big leap in performance. So are they talking about, I'm assuming the 8 Gen 4. Since Qualcomm is announcing the new 8 Elite, I don't know if it's going to be because they're not only announcing the 8 Gen 4, they're releasing it saying, okay, so from today, it will be available on new Android devices, right? And so they're going to release the 8 Gen 4 for consumer use. Are they just going to announce the 8 Elite saying coming soon, or are they going to release that as well? We have no idea. But what I do know is that I will stay on top of this topic. And what you need to know and what you need to do is subscribe to the eSIM Studios, a YouTube channel. And I have the description. If you're watching this on any other platform, on Twitter, if you're watching this on Instagram, on one of my other YouTube channels, look in the description. You should see a link for our eSIM Studios YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, and I'm going to stay on top of this for you so you don't have to go searching for the info. I'll have it all wrapped up in a nice, pretty little bow and present it to you. Now, what is the deal with the Aurora engine and what is it? Aurora and Tidal engine. Okay. So he mentioned the Tidal engine and Aurora engine. So these companies, well, Google puts a TPU. It's like in their CPUs, right? So what it is in that, well, the TPU is a tensor processing unit. But this new Tidal engine, this new Aurora engine, is basically in the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4. Now, they could have custom made this for OnePlus. Like, I don't know if the 8 Gen 4, let's say the 8 Gen 4 is going to be in the OnePlus 13. And let's say Samsung puts the 8 Gen 4 in their S23 Ultra. I don't know if, since OnePlus is here talking about the Aurora engine, the Tidal engine, I don't know if those engines will be in the Samsung S23 Ultra as well, or if that's a OnePlus specific deal. Because what we do know is that Qualcomm has worked independently with these manufacturers in kind of fine-tuning these CPUs just for a specific manufacturer. You know, in Samsung in the past, the last couple of years have said, especially this new Snapdragon CPU, especially made just for Samsung devices. I mean, they work with these companies, with these manufacturers hand in hand, and if Samsung has a certain request or wants to make the claim this is a special Snapdragon CPU, they can, right? They'll work independently with OnePlus or with Samsung. So again, I don't know if this Tidal engine will be on every Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 processor device, or if this will just be on OnePlus devices. But nonetheless, basically what it is a specialty fine-tune department, so to speak, of this CPU, where apparently they have it coded just right to where this Tidal engine, it appears from what the OnePlus CEO is saying, that it's perfectly tuned for low power. It's probably like low power cores, meaning like processes that don't require a huge amount of power to process. And then the Aurora engine is probably geared for something else, because these CPUs are doing a million things at once, probably more than that. So it's probably just a fine-tuned CPU for OnePlus. They just like to give it a special name, the Tidal engine, the Aurora engine. So I mean, whatever. That's cool. I can't wait to see it. Whatever they call it. I'll be waiting. Now, I knew this announcement was coming because OnePlus sent me an email saying, hey, they didn't say or mention anything about the OnePlus 13, but what they did do is tell me that all of their devices are on sale. So if you're looking for a new OnePlus 12, OnePlus 12R, or a OnePlus Pad, is their little tablet, they're on sale. I think the OnePlus 12 starts out at $799. They've reduced that price to $649. So you can get, that is a badass phone at a badass price. $649, they knock $150 right off the top. And I think the OnePlus 12R is $439, which is a steal for that phone too. It's a badass phone. And the OnePlus Pad was like $349. Again, a freaking steal. I was even like, whoa, do I need to go grab that real quick? They're trying to sell off their product, all the remaining OnePlus 12s, all the OnePlus 12Rs, all the OnePlus Pads that they have in stock. They're trying to get rid of them to make way for this new OnePlus 13. So if you are in the market for if you've thought about getting a OnePlus phone, never really pulled the trigger, I can guarantee you, I don't know about the OnePlus Pad. Daniel, one of our subscribers, he's got the OnePlus Pad. I think the OnePlus Pad 2 says it's a great tablet, and I'll take his word for it. I have used and owned the OnePlus 12 and 12R. I can promise you, you will love those phones. If you have not really pulled the trigger yet, or you haven't tried a OnePlus device, give it a try. If you can find one at a steal, and you may be even be able to find these devices even cheaper than that, right? If you even want to go lower, because those are at brand new prices, $649 and $439. That's brand new. You could probably find a OnePlus 12 for $500, a used one, a good used one on Swappa. You could probably find a OnePlus 12R for probably $350. Honestly, a good condition used one. And again, I believe you will like it. The operating systems are buttery smooth. Cameras are really, really good. In fact, they take better pictures than my S23 Ultra. I know that's hard for some Samsung users to believe, but that's the truth. The OnePlus really upgraded their cameras this year. So that's why I am so intrigued with this OnePlus 13. And we're going to get it. I want to see the CPU and use it. I want to test these cameras out again, see where they stand with iPhone and Samsung and Pixel. And can't wait. So OnePlus 13. It says there, real quick, it says there's no official launch date, but it should take place. It will take place after the Snapdragon Summit. The Snapdragon Summit, where they're going to announce and release the new 8 Gen 4, and I'm assuming they'll tease the new Snapdragon 8 Elite, is set for October 21st through the 23rd. That's traditionally held in Hawaii. I think Qualcomm headquarters is in San Diego, but they always have their little Snapdragon Summit in Hawaii. So I haven't gotten an invite. Hopefully I will someday. Flossy Carter usually goes to those every year. Maybe one day here in the future we'll get an invite, and I'll definitely go to that. But again, Snapdragon Summit, October 21st to the 23rd, which means technically OnePlus could announce their OnePlus 13 the day after, on the 24th. So somewhere in the very last week of October, look for OnePlus to announce the new OnePlus 13 between the 24th and the 31st. I don't think they would do it on Halloween, so it would be either the 24th or the 30th. So somewhere in that week, the very last week of October, they will announce it. You should be able to pre-order it, and then in 2 weeks, you should be able to go into stores and buy them. Although I don't know of any store you could walk into and buy them, like an Apple or a Samsung or Pixel. AV Best Buy, shit, I don't know. They're not. I think their contract with T-Mobile is up, because T-Mobile, I shouldn't say that, because T-Mobile still sells the cheaper OnePlus phones, right? The little mid, I think it was the N300, something like that. But they don't sell the flagship devices. In fact, you know what? Do they even sell the OnePlus 12 at T-Mobile? They do. I don't know. I was just in T-Mobile the other day and I didn't see it. OnePlus 12 is a smartphone that T-Mobile offers. Are you sure? No, they don't offer it. Huh. Yeah, they don't offer. I don't know what the hell why they're giving me this answer. It's not sold at T-Mobile. I think they stopped with the OnePlus 11 was the last OnePlus device I saw in T-Mobile stores. But nonetheless, they offer really good trading deals. So if you do have a OnePlus 12 and you want to trade that in for a new OnePlus 13, OnePlus does have trade-in deals. But stay tuned to eSIM Studios. Subscribe to our channel, and I'll keep y'all up to date with everything when it comes to OnePlus. Now, well, let's see. Samsung. Speaking of Samsung, if you have a Samsung device, please check for an update. Now, this is the security update, software update, not the Google Play Store update or Google Play System update. This is the software. Then you should get notified, but it was released today. They do have an incremental rollout. So if you do check your phone or you don't see a notification for an update, here's what you do. And we'll get into what this update entails. But what you do, go to settings, and then go to your settings app. Open your settings app. Look for that little search bar. I think it's the top right or top left. And all you do is type in update. It should be the first or second search result you get. Select system update, and then select the highlighted section again, and then check for update. If the check for update comes back, you're good. Here's what you can do. Now, again, this is incremental, so if you don't get it today, could get it tomorrow. Just they're not pick and choosing who to send it to necessarily. It's all number based. So if you have a serial number between X and Y, they'll send it out to you. If you have a serial number between X and Z, then they'll send that to you the next day. Or if you have another serial between I don't know, U and V, they'll send it out the third day. So that's kind of how they do it, right? But this has worked for me in the past. If there is an update out that you know they've released, but you're not getting it, after you check for an update and it says you're all up to date, here's what you can do to try to initialize the update. So if you're on Wi-Fi, what you can do is you need to disconnect the network. So if you're on, I guess you would be on, right? Not many people update their phones on mobile data. So disconnect your Wi-Fi and disconnect your mobile data. Wait 10, 15 seconds. Reconnect your mobile data or reconnect the Wi-Fi. Hit that check for update again. That has worked for me in the past. Disconnect from the network, reconnect, establishes a new connection with the Samsung update servers, and should you may or may not, but it has worked for me in the past. Or what you can do is just simply restart your phone, power it off. Sometimes I say restart your phone, and I've had people say, well, I turned off the screen and I turned it right back on. No. I'm talking about physically power it off and power it back on after a few seconds. That has worked for me as well. And if it doesn't, if you try all those and it does not work, then you just have to wait another day or two. But you should see it pretty damn soon. That goes for Samsung flagship phones, Z Fold 6, Z Flip 6, Samsung S24 series, S24, S24 Plus, S24 Ultra, Samsung flagship tablets, right? Samsung Tab S9, S9 Plus, S9 Ultra, and then also Samsung Tab S10 Plus, S10 Ultra. You should have the update, and then it will roll out to mid-range devices and bottom of the barrel device, cheap devices down the road. But they always issue their updates first and foremost to their flagship devices, right? First and second gen. And maybe if you have like a S23 or S23 Ultra, should get it probably next week or something like that. And I know some people criticize them and say, well, they should just issue it for all Samsung devices all at once. And I used to think that too, but here's why they don't. Because of a potential bug. So if they release this update to every Samsung phone, if they just hit a button and boop, okay, it's available for every Samsung phone on the planet. For one thing, their servers would crash because you're talking like over a couple, like I don't know, 100, 200 million phones, all that, not all at once, but basically getting updated, the servers would crash. Second reason is because they want to do a gradual rollout, because if there is a bug, they don't want 200 million Samsung phones to have this bug, right? And have issues with 200 million people. So they'll roll it out and they'll wait a day. And they monitor Reddit. They monitor YouTubers. They monitor the people, to see if there's any major bugs. If everything's relatively okay, then they'll continue with the rollout. But that's why they don't issue one update from day one to all devices, right? And Google, every company does this. I think Apple actually is probably the closest to just hitting a button and giving everybody access to an update. I think Apple does that. I don't have an iPhone. I will soon. I think I get mine on Saturday. 16 Pro Max white, 1 terabyte. I think. I hope so. Should be Saturday. If not Saturday, Monday, but we're going to have fun nonetheless. Now, where was I at? Okay, so let's get into the security patch. Samsung moderator recently stated users should expect a public beta? What the hell? Wait a second. We're not ready for that yet. So let's get into this security patch. So Samsung's October security update is arriving on AT&T and T-Mobile S23 Ultras in the US. So you can see already they specifically picked this model from these carriers to update. And again, they gradually roll it out, right? And you can criticize their rollout, right? Well, they need to do all S24s, not just the Ultras, or they need to do all carriers and the unlocked model, not just AT&T and T-Mobile. You can criticize that. I get it. But that's what it is. And again, you'll have it in the next day or two. So just hold your horses. The update is around 400 megabytes and delivers several critical and very critical fixes from Samsung, along with some critical Google internal fixes, bug fixes as well. Now, getting into the beta. So they took a lot of criticism for this. They've been working on One UI 7 for a long time. And they recently said, was it last week? Or no, it was earlier this week, that the stable build of One UI 7 is not coming out until the S25 models, right? So the S25s are going to launch with One UI 7. So they're going to push it back and hold on to it. Now, there is news that Samsung users should expect a public beta for One UI 7. I was waiting for Samsung to announce a public beta. Now, betas are cool, right? Although you can run into some issues, but I was waiting for them to do this because why have they just been working on this for eternity, it seems like, in the background, privately? And so I was thinking, and I didn't mention that yesterday or the day before, why don't they push a beta to a small number of users, public beta? And that's crucial for Samsung. That's crucial for Google. It's crucial for Apple to invite a small amount of public beta users, people like myself that have more than just one phone, right? I would not suggest, if you're using one phone and just one phone only as your daily driver, like most people, I don't really recommend to jump on a beta program if you're using that phone as your daily driver and you don't have anything else. If you're like me and some other people, other YouTubers or people that are watching right now, if you have more than one phone, let's say you have a main phone and a work phone, or you got a couple devices, and you don't mind enrolling one into a beta program, it's crucial for these companies to issue public betas because they're gathering information on your device, not necessarily spying on you, but they want to make sure that if there's an issue that pops up, or a bug, they want to know what the hell it is, how to fix it, and how to move forward. And that's how the public betas are so crucial to these companies. They want to know, because look, Samsung can do all the testing they want, but in actuality, it's a bunch of Samsung developers that are testing these builds, these public, not public, these private One UI 7 beta builds. They're testing them on their phone, but how many developers does Samsung have? Probably a lot, because it's a ginormous company. But think about Google, right? When they do theirs, Google probably has less developers in their Pixel department than Samsung does. And in actuality, Samsung might have 1,000 developers that are testing this beta build, or Google might have 600 developers that are testing the beta build. Well, why not release it to 6,000 people? Like, make it this beta available to the public. So the more devices you can test, the more you can gather information, the more it's possible that a bug or two will pop up on a user's phone and not a developer's phone from within inside the company. See what I'm saying? And I don't know why Samsung hasn't issued a public beta yet. It appears that they're not only thinking about it, but it looks like we should expect a public beta program for One UI 7. Now, it'll be for specific devices. It's not going to be for everybody. I can guarantee you it's not going to be for foldables. It might. I should take that back. It might. But it's not going to be for the S23 user. It's not going to be available for your Note 20 Ultra that you got in the drawer. Oh, wow, the beta's out. Let me grab that. I haven't turned it on in 2 years. They're not going to do that. It's going to be for when they release this public beta, it's going to be for basically S24 users. Possibly a foldable, the Flip 6, I think, or the Fold 6. I can't remember which one sold more. They'll probably do a build for a tablet users to try to get more information and see what other bugs pop up. Because the issue is, they've been working on it for so long. I think they have some issues, or not issues, but I think they have some bugs that they're basically having a hard time ironing out, getting rid of. That's why it's taking, there's no other explanation why it's taking so long for them to get this out. So that's the next best thing to do, is push out a public beta. But back to the monthly security patch. Let's see, S24 Ultra users on AT&T and T-Mobile, meaning not just you bought an unlocked phone, an unlocked S24 Ultra from Samsung, and you're using a T-Mobile SIM card in there. No. Or you bought an S24 Ultra from Samsung and now you're using your AT&T SIM card in there. Does not mean that. It means specifically, if you bought your S24 from T-Mobile, S24 Ultra from T-Mobile, then you would qualify. If you bought your S24 Ultra from AT&T, you would qualify. It has to be an AT&T branded S24 Ultra. It has to be a T-Mobile branded S24 Ultra. Which is cool, because they never used to do that. It used to be the complete opposite. Wait, is this the security patch? Damn it, my brain is still on the beta. So pardon me. So if you have an AT&T S24 Ultra, the October security patch is available for you. Sorry. If you have a T-Mobile S24 Ultra, the October security patch is available for you. And it will roll out to unlocked models tomorrow or the next day. It will roll out to US cellular users over the weekend. It will roll out to Verizon S24 Ultra users probably on Sunday or Monday. Something like that. The new version, and the build ends in AXI1. Let's see. It looks like it's live right now for T-Mobile devices and AT&T devices of S24. Users are already saying they got it. Improved security. That's what they always say. They never get into the details. It's 442 megabytes. Critical fixes, high-level corrections, Samsung semiconductor fix. I don't know what that is. The security patch includes a crucial fix for Knox Guard. Samsung states the fix would and should eliminate the possibility for physical hackers to bypass the security features. Interesting. Several more fixes were included that solved improper access to the activity manager and more for out-of-bounds issues that plagued Android 12 to 14 devices. Google's side, the security bulletin states it provides 3 framework fixes and 4 system fixes. Now, here's the next thing. Security patch for Pixel devices. It's not out yet, but we do know what it will fix, because here's a link to you may not be seeing it, but I got it. Let's see if there's what crucial fixes it got. Framework, system, what else? Google Play system updates, we all got that. Imagination technologies, it's a bunch of jargon. So anyways, be on the lookout for that. I probably spent way too much time. What's going on, Hassan? Thank you for joining us today, sir. I really appreciate it. All y'all, go check out Hassan's channel. He's got a good channel right there. I'm one of my YouTube buddies. Let's see. Do I have time to get into anything else? Let's see what else we got real quick, and I gotta get. Real quick before we get out of here, I wanted to make you aware of this cool article. So I'm going to save. I have a Google versus the USA. As you know, they're going through an antitrust case right now. Basically a monopoly case against Google. The government brought forward a lawsuit against Google saying that they're a monopoly. We're going to get into that tomorrow. All right. I have information on that I was going to present to you today. However, I'm running out of time. But I'm going to do some more homework on that and grab some more details, and we'll overlook that case tomorrow. It's a very important case. I think it's going way over people's heads. I don't believe, a little teaser, I don't believe people... It would be a huge shakeup in the tech world if Google got split up, right? Because, again, I'll get into the specifics tomorrow, but just as a teaser, what if the government forced Google to cut off its Pixel division and they had to sell it off? So it'd be the HTC Pixel. That's a real possibility. That is a real 100% possibility. Well, what if the government broke Google up and said, because that's what they do, they'll cut off. So I'm Google, right? Here's my ads division is one arm. Here's my Pixel division, or hardware, is my other arm. And one of my legs is the Android operating system. And my other leg is their AI division. So what if literally the government said you have to sell your hardware division, including Pixel division, and you had to sell your AI division? Oh, that would be a huge shakeup in the technology world, right? Huge. So we'll get into that, and that's a real possibility. So we'll get into that tomorrow. I don't have enough time today. And we are also going to get into tomorrow, just a little teaser. iPhone users and RCS messages. So tomorrow we'll get into, there was a poll that was out where iPhone users don't care about RCS. And it was such a huge deal. Another thing that went over people's heads, another huge deal, where Apple accepts RCS messaging now, right? However, it's not really implemented in the way it should be, and I'll get into that tomorrow. So, and it's all Apple's fault. I'll be the first to tell you it is 100% Apple's fault, right? They don't want to play nicely. So even when we thought that with the rollout of iOS 18, they're going to accept RCS messaging, and oh yes, iPhone users and Android users can rejoice and have phenomenal texting experience. Well, that's just simply not the case after a few months passed. So we'll get into that and discuss that poll that iPhone users were polled and said they don't give a damn about RCS. In fact, a lot of them didn't even, they're like, in the poll, they're like, well, what do you think of RCS? And I'm like, RCS? What is that? People have no idea, right? But we'll get into that tomorrow. But real quick, but before we get out of here today, I'm going to link to this article in the description of this video once we're done. So this is, if you have bills, as we know, these bills are getting insane. I don't even want to get into my electric bill and my water bill. Jesus Christ. Very expensive. And it's seemingly my T-Mobile bill is getting higher and higher. So it's like, what the hell's going on here? Here's a cool article that helps you kind of negotiate a better deal or a better get a better deal from a wireless carrier or internet provider. Because I always remember when we left Dish Network, when we cut our cable and we left Dish Network, they were pleading and pleading and pleading for us not to go. We're like, no, screw you. Oh, well, they offered us, it was like half off of our bill. I'm like, that's all it took, just telling you we were going to leave you, and you're just offering half off of our bill, just like that. Yeah, they do that. T-Mobile has been known to do that. Who's another company we left that they were begging for us? There was some other company, I can't remember. I'll probably remember it right after this is done. But another company, we said we're leaving. Oh no, don't leave, please, please. And they, same thing, offered a huge discount. So here's a cool little article. Again, I'll link this in the description. It's worth you checking out because you can not only lower your internet bill for your home Wi-Fi or business, right? You can also lower your your wireless carrier bill. There's some neat little tricks in here that kind of guide you through what to do to lower your bill, basically. Now, one thing is you can just threaten to leave flat out, but then they may call your bluff, right? I remember when we left AT&T, we told them we were, this was years ago. Maybe it's different now, but we told them we were leaving, and they're like, okay. I'm like, that's it? Okay. Peace. They may call your bluff, but probably not. But here's some good tips on how to do that, because as I mentioned, it's not just me. It's not just you. Everybody's bills are just inflated. Again, my water bill, my light bill I paid yesterday. Jesus. Whew. Have me in here in the dark. Tomorrow you'll see me with no lights, right? Trying to save some power here to cut down on my bill. I'll be having to do a stream with no lights. How about that? So anyways, speaking of, let me get out of here. I got to run, but I'm going to link this in the description. It is worth you checking out. Just scan over it, right? Even if it has more than just your cell phone bill in here. It gives you tips on you can apply these tips to every single bill. Now, minus if there's only one power provider in your city, nothing you can do. Like San Antonio's just got one power provider, and that's it. It's not like you can say, well, I'm going to go over here and get power from here. And be like, you can't. You can live without power. In Houston, they have like 38 power companies, so you can bounce between them. But it's up to you. Everybody's situation is different. But check this article out. I can promise you, you'll find something in here that you can apply these tactics to one of your bills to get it lower. I can promise you that. I'll leave y'all on that. I'm going to add this to the video. It's not there right now, but as soon as I hit end on the live stream, I'm going to add this link in the description below. So come back in about 5 minutes to this same stream and look in the description. Now, I'm talking about eSIM Studios. So if you're watching this on any other platform, I'm only going to post this link on our eSIM Studios YouTube page. This video you're watching on the eSIM Studios YouTube channel. That's our home base. So subscribe to the channel, come back to the eSIM Studios YouTube channel in about 5 minutes and check this link out. I got to run. Appreciate you joining me today. Please stay safe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.